It seems like with Malaysia nowadays, we're throwing away our culture, we're just assimilating everything with Islam, basically. And it just feels less of if it's actually halal or not, and more of the person who runs this restaurant isn't Malay, therefore you shouldn't support him.
Malay food has been bastardized. For example, nasi lemak babi. We are not your ustaz down here. No doubt we are Muslims.
I actually don't think music should be haram because...
How is it like growing up in your family, and how was your family like?
Are you sure? Did you really pray? And I'm like, yeah. And then I would wet my toilet or something.
Just follow the faith blindly. Stop asking questions.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
You're still tuning into Cookie Mars.
Hey guys. Hi guys. How you swallow that kind of things? Like, you know,
I was
Stop.
shut up.
I was going with the suck on it.
No. I'm as straight as the light.
Let's sing it, bro. Sayonara.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Cookie Marks. Yes, sir.
So we are in sunny Kuala Lumpur this time round, and we actually had DMs from our Malaysian audiences, and one of them actually hook us up. I cannot say the name lah.
Yes.
Of that person who
Yes.
hooked
Who's the
us up
hooker?
lah. But thank
And
you.
who's the hooked?
Thank you, Abang J.
Abang J.
Alright, and today with us, we actually have a very, I cannot say very special lah because it's alright, but intriguing.
Yes.
I shall say
I would say
intriguing.
it is special in a special sense as well.
Every mother will tell their son, I'm special.
True. So every episode is special for us. Every guest is special for us because it's our baby. Yes.
So we have this person that we knew. We just got to know lah.
Yep.
And I actually haven't fully heard the story, but I think let's dive in and know the story lah.
Yes.
Now with us today, we have Mikael.
Mikael
I
for
shall call Mika.
confidentiality, privacy, secrecy
Private
purposes. Yes, we
limited
have
liability.
changed his name. We have dressed him up as what you see right now, and the voice will be remodulated
Hopefully.
as well.
Confirm.
So yes, hi Mr. Mikael.
Right.
Please share a little bit
Right, so
Say a little bit what? You never
of
say what?
whatever you can share about yourself.
can't really say my
Yeah.
age or
Yes,
so I guess I'll just share my story.
Yes, sir.
So growing up, I honestly, obviously I was a believer. I was like 7 years old, right? And the religion in Malaysia, it would be very integrated into the culture. I would say around maybe 40, 50 years ago, we were more Malay than we were
A mixed community.
Muslim.
Yeah, Muslim. Okay.
Yeah. It seems like with Malaysia nowadays, we're throwing away our culture and then we're just assimilating everything with Islam. Basically, we're trying to be Asian Arabs, even though Arabs are Asian. And we're trying to be someone we're not because I'm sure you've seen ads in Malaysia about how Malaysia truly Asia. 3 major races living in harmony and all that. All of that's bullshit, unfortunately. There's always going to be some form of racism no matter where you go.
Right.
And that also includes Malay people flaunting their, for a lack of a better word, superiority. Because I think in Malaysia there's around 56% Malays. And don't quote me on that number. Yeah, and I think and the rest is non-Malay, right? So with Malays, we call ourselves Bumi Putra, which is it's like a term for basically like orang
Sons of
asli
the
lah.
motherland.
Yeah, you're the
Something
ones
like that.
you were here before all the other immigrants went here, right? So we always have this special
Superiority
rights.
complex.
Yeah, we get to have investment schemes that no other races can have.
Sorry, this is just
In
to
Malaysia.
clarify, this is only for Malaysians who were born here.
Yep. And at the same
Okay.
time, there are also people for Sabah Sarawak because even though they're not Muslim, they're technically Bumi Putra still.
They are mainly Hindu Christian community of sorts, or
from what
Or
I
at least that is what I heard from a friend of mine. lah.
From what I heard, they're mostly Christians, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, so most Bumiputras, you can just view them as Malays. And then for people that are from Sabah Sarawak, some of them are Malays. Some of them are Islam and some of them are Christians. So it really depends. But back to the topic is basically, it just doesn't feel like we're throwing away our culture, because I truly believe Malaysia. If you ever went to Malacca, they have all the historical stuff there, museums and whatnot, and it just feels like we're throwing all of that away because it seems like everything is haram nowadays. Some people are pushing for music is haram. Some people are saying that back in my days, back in my days, you know, you could like actually eat seafood without giving a care if the seafood is halal or not, because by right, seafood, it doesn't matter, right? There's no right way of slaughtering seafood. So, but now it seems like even seafood, people are saying if this seafood place doesn't have halal certificate, you shouldn't eat in it. And it just feels less of if it's actually halal or not, and more of the person who runs this restaurant isn't Malay, therefore you shouldn't support him. I have a feeling one of you has seen a very viral clip of an Indian auntie who's selling nasi lemak. Very viral. And there were a bunch of netizens that were like bashing her for not having halal certificate. She's just selling nasi lemak. Like most of the time,
Is it the one who sells out of a truck or car or something initially, and then she opened up a small
It didn't
stall?
even look like a car. I just felt like it was just a
Set up
roadside
booth.
shop.
Okay.
And
I think
honestly,
I
I
know
was
who.
so happy for her, right? But it just seems like Malays don't like non-Malays succeeding. They always have to bring out something to put these non-Malays in their place.
Yes.
Yeah, which is quite disheartening to see that, because you know, Malaysians have always, you know, people know us as like the multiracial country, but it just seems like the Malays don't like that. And I feel like with Chinese and Indians and all the other non-Malays, they're just trying to live their lives. But I'm pretty sure you've heard of some people saying about how all the non-Malays are trying to take over the country.
I understand. There are also instances where Malay food has been bastardized. For example, nasi lemak babi. You know, and even there are non-Malay food like biryani.
Yeah, nasi biryani babi, yes.
Yeah, and it caused an outrage with the netizens. So yeah, I feel on that part, like although it originates from the Malays, like but biryani no lah, right? But I think there is supposed to be a leeway somewhere, and that's where inclusiveness come in, right? In a society and in a modern society. Yeah, I mean that's my take. But before that, this episode, this part is sponsored
by Fauzia and Dean from PropNext.
Yes.
For any enquiries on realty pula, on realtor enquiries, buying, selling, enquiring everything,
Renting,
please contact
commercial,
855 7000.
residential.
855 7000.
Yes, and-
Fauzia and Dean.
And the reason why we are doing this, you know, it's mainly because of curiosity,
Yes.
not to debate. We want to know why and what's happening lah, basically.
Not to
And
debate, but
Not to debate.
to
We
gain
are
knowledge.
We are not your ustaz down here.
Yes.
No doubt we are Muslims.
Yes, but
must
we
say
have our own flaws also lah.
Yeah, but the thing is, we want to know lah, because if there's no one doing this, then
Nobody
the story
knows.
will never be out lah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we continue the story.
Yes.
Sorry to just cut you abruptly.
First of all, I want to say thank you.
Hey, no
Thank you
worries,
for
man.
covering
Thank you for your
this.
time. man.
Yes, exactly.
I want to be here.
Okay.
So where were we? I already forgot.
Well, you were talking about the community not letting the other community succeed.
Yeah, I actually have to agree with
Daddy.
Daddy over here about the assimilation of Malay culture or food into the non-halal section, right?
Yeah.
Personally, my first impressions when I see nasi berani
Babi.
babi or something, right? I'm like, damn,
Yep.
that's truly Asia right there.
Yeah.
Because isn't that what we're all promoting? We're promoting multiracial diversity.
Right.
Malaysia, truly Asia, right? But it just seems like the netizens don't like that. And when I say netizens, I truly mean the makcik Facebook, the ones that are within their own circle and they never really care about other people's opinions. That's the thing about the internet, right? It feels like, depending on which social media platform you use, it feels like an echo chamber. It feels like people like me, I'll never go to Facebook because I don't want to listen to the echo chambers of
Right,
people
right.
who
You
are...
don't want to get trapped in the rabbit hole, basically.
Yeah, but most people don't even realize that they're in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
So they think their opinion is,
Right.
the number one
Yep.
opinion and everyone shares the same opinion. No, it's never like that. It's, yeah. So I would say when I see the assimilation, I'm just like, that's good. If we're staying true to the whole Malaysia through the Asia thing. Because think about tourism, right? Like, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that want to try Malaysian food plus pork. But yeah, it just seems like the netizens will always backlash whatever. That's what I mean by when I say I feel like we're throwing away our culture. It just feels like whatever, like music, to a certain extent, some people actually say music is haram. And I actually want to bring it up about the whole hypocrisy thing because there will be certain Malays that are like, oh, music's not haram. What do you mean? And I'll be like, I agree with you. I actually don't think music should be haram because that's the whole point of music, right? It's to unite people. It's to give people motivation. It's to bring good vibes or something, right? It's just to reduce stress.
Right.
So I just don't see how something so beneficial should be haram. So I've always wondered why there are certain Malays that believe and there are certain Malays that don't believe that music should be haram. All I know is I'm on the side of people who don't think it should be haram because, to me, music is a good thing. Like,
Right.
it should never be something that you should demonize because it's just music.
Yep.
There's a reason why every single country in the world has a national anthem, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of the things I want to talk about.
All right, Mika, we will bring you back in time. Your growing up years. When you were still a Muslim. When you're still a student of sorts, a young boy. How is it like growing up in your family, and how was your family like? Was they religious, and were they very cultural in a sense where, the kampung spirit is there and stuff like that? How is it like growing up, and where did you grow up in Malaysia or no?
So, for my family, thankfully, I have to say, my parents are religious. But they're, thankfully, they don't really force it. They'll remind you, but they'll remind me, but it will probably only stop there. There'll be certain times where they'll be like, "Are you sure? Did you really pray?" And I'm like, yeah. And then I would wet my toilet or something. And then, they would just believe it. And I'm just like, thank God I'm trustworthy.
Okay, so that means you just pretend to take ablution and then...
Yeah, pretty
okay,
much.
okay.
The thing about it is that usually when I pray, I just don't understand. Like, am I supposed to be talking to God right now? And when I was a kid, I would say, yeah, I did try, but I wasn't really talking to God. I was just reciting a bunch of du'as, And then my problem, or more like I see the uprising, the start of my being an ex-Muslim is probably just out of laziness. I just don't get why I need to do this 5 times a day. It just felt more indoctrination and less actually believing in something, right? That's why I'm a big fan of there are certain parents out there that don't really force their kids to do it. They'll let the kids decide. But this is rare, like gold rare. Like most parents will force you because they, pretty sure there was a verse in the Quran saying about how you need to take care of the people around you and make sure they believe in the same thing you do as well. Yeah. But there was also a contradictory verse where for you, your religion, for my religion, mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Malaysians actually read the Quran. Like, I truly believe they read the Arabic version, but they won't actually read the translation. Yeah. So even though I'm not religious, I have finished the Quran twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one in Arabic language when I was like 12, and again when I was like 24 or something. That was like 7 years ago or something. So it's like it's definitely an eye opener for me because
Khatam Quran, guys, twice.
Yeah, that's right.
I needed to understand. it was mostly curiosity. I'm kind of like you guys actually. I'm also curious about why the Malaysians are so stuck up. Like, why are they so adamant on making sure you live the way they want to? Whereas the Quran literally says, for your religion, you, for my religion, mine. There was also in Surah Yasin, which is, everyone read that, right? Yeah. There was, I'm pretty sure the first 20 verses inside the Yasin specifically mentioned there will be non-believers like me, and there's nothing the believers can do about.
Right.
Yeah, and I always find it fascinating about how we usually read the Yasin for prayers and, to send good vibes, but it turns out nobody actually understands it. And I just find it fascinating that the first 20 verses of the Yasin talk about people like me, about how I'm going to hell if I don't do this, and about how people will tell me that I'm wrong and I won't listen to them, which is actually kind of true. In a sense, I won't listen to the religious people because I don't know, I've just made up my mind, I guess. So yeah, so that was when I was a kid. It was mostly just me trying to
Go through the motion.
yeah, because I didn't know what was real. I was a kid, so pretty much my parents told me to do it, and I'll do it. And there was no resentment. I truly believe this was just a way for me to live, I guess. Everyone around me is doing it, so I guess I have to do it too.
Right.
Yeah, I think the only reason when, I was just doing it out of obligation, out of, if I don't do it, I'm going to get scolded by my parents or something, right? So that was growing up. And I would say around when I was 14, 15 years old, that's when I realized, it was in a class, and I was just, there was an ustaz, obviously.
So what kind of school, when you were at 14, was it like a religious school or was it
No, it's just your general
secular?
Yeah, secular one. Yeah, but Malays have to take class agama, and the rest have to take either moral or critical thinking, which to me is so funny because I really wish the critical thinking wasn't subbed out for Malays taking agama, right? Because I think critical thinking is important too.
Correct.
So I don't know, maybe that's one of the reasons why a lot of Malays can't critically think. I don't know.
In Malaysia.
But, yeah, in Malaysia. And not all of them. I'm sure, yeah. I've met a lot of religious Malays who also can critically think. It just feels like it should be the norm. But it isn't. So it feels kind of sad. Yeah. But when I realized that the ustaz was asking the class, hey, does anyone have any questions? And my favorite subject when I was a kid was science. So the beauty of science is that when they make a claim, they have to prove.
It's factual.
Yeah. So what do? They would make experiments, and then they'll just basically, if the results, they'll make a hypothesis, right? And if the results are correct, they'll say this is facts. And if the claim is wrong, or the hypothesis is wrong, then you would just try the experiment again with some other variable, right? So I just asked my ustaz, so if God created world, where did God come from? And he just gave me a death stare. He was just like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, something has to come from something, right? And he just couldn't answer, and it was like, that's like a shirik. So you shouldn't be asking that question. And pretty much everyone in the classroom was staring at me, and I just felt alienated for once. And for me, it was just like, I didn't know how to feel about it because I asked the question, and most of the time when I'm learning other subjects, there's always an answer.
Right.
So why is this just the one time I didn't get an answer, right? Like, anything would have been good because I was 14. I wasn't mentally, I wasn't developed yet. I wouldn't ask, oh, his answer is wrong. I wouldn't say that. I'll just take the answer. But there was no answer. There was, you shouldn't ask that question. And then that pretty much sparked it. So when I was 14, that was when I really started questioning.
So the ustaz didn't come back to you with an answer,
He
or
hated me, actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
these are my thoughts. My personal thoughts. Like, it should come to a point where learning is about nurturing yourself, right? And you must have answers, or minimally, you must have guidance at least.
Right.
Like, if you don't have the answers, as a teacher, the least you could do, let me check No, let me check back.
I wish you said
Or
that.
you can actually refer to something else as
Yeah.
guidance, or he can refer you to somewhere else. I mean, that's a better answer because people wants to learn.
Yeah. I feel you, and I also resonate with your explanation, lah. And I would also say that, you know, this is my personal opinion. In a way, I would say that your agama teacher is not the right one, lah.
I mean, of course, we come from a different
Yes,
demography and a
yes,
different
correct,
country. Totally, we cannot say
Correct.
for this country,
Correct.
but I mean, this is natural instinct as
Correct.
a student.
Yeah, because-
and what you should do as a teacher also, right?
First and foremost, okay, as a teacher, I mean, you are. I wouldn't say you need to know every single
Yeah,
answer,
of
but
course.
the question that he asked is actually one of the most important questions, in my opinion.
And it's basic.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the basic question that a student would ask his or her teacher, and the teacher has to respond lah accordingly, according to knowledge and everything lah. But him giving you the dead stare, kind of reflects on, in my opinion, kind of reflects on how the system is for people who have questions. Meaning to say, according to them, they would feel more like, you know, like, just follow the faith blindly. Stop asking questions.
It's
Or
not
stop asking
supposed to be
questions.
like that, in the
Yes,
first place.
exactly. You're supposed to ask questions. And in fact, when it concerns whatever, like, questions have to pop up, because that is how we grow. We learn, we grow, we find the for the betterment of our lives, religiously or community wise lah. Yep.
And I would add, to his defense, he was actually a pretty good teacher. He would actually do what Daddy would say. He would look back. He'll be like, "I'll get back to you on that." Yeah, so he's
okay.
actually a good teacher.
Okay.
But I guess he just got shocked.
Shocked. Oh,
Yeah, it was probably a shock. In his defense, and I don't want to defending him. I don't want to be defending him, but I truly believe I've never looked at the guy and be like, "That's a bad teacher." No, I just think it was that one question. In his defense, but honestly,
Alright.
he should have approached the same way as any other question he would get. You know, but yeah, I guess it was a culture shock kind of question
Yeah.
or something.
So was that one of the starters where the doubts started
That
creeping
was
in?
basically the first one.
At the age of
forever
14.
remember that one because I just couldn't forget the death stare.
But at that point of time, as a Muslim, did you try to find out that answer?
At that specific time, no. Because I was 14 at the time, all I wanted to do was just do my own thing, you know? Like, I don't want to suddenly go on a conquest. So yeah, let me check what's the answer for this. I didn't, at the time I was still a kid, I just wanted to enjoy life and all that. But it definitely did leave an impression because I'll never forget that death stare. Because he's like a nice person. I think he has like a very kind face, you know? I think his neutral face, you know, other people say there's a resting bitch face. He's the opposite of that. He's the resting
happy face.
happy face. Yeah, he's like
Maybe there's
when he's
the
not-
resting Iman face.
Yeah. So when you see the frown from a guy that's smiling like 24/7, I'm just like, whoa, you know.
I mean, now that you mention it, like what you say, you know, maybe he was probably shocked at the question, probably because he's only
He
seen
wasn't ready
students
to-
who follow blindly,
Yeah.
and you were probably one of the first students who actually questioned the looking for questions lah, looking for answers to your questions.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
I almost wondered.
Maybe he's shocked and don't know how to navigate the treacherous.
Okay, so I retract back what I said about our Mikael's agama teacher. I'm sorry, my bad. but to my defense, I said POV. Okay,
You also want defense lah.
yes, I have to defend also.
Okay. So what else? Like apart from that, then what other things that made you think twice about the religion and stuff?
I think because like my science is my favorite subject. I think one of the other revelations I had was actually when I was 11 years old. So that was even before the death stare situation, right? We were learning about microorganisms, about how there's actually a world that you just cannot see because they're too small. And I was just like, whoa, these guys are like the building blocks of life, right? So we derived from them. So my science teacher was Chinese at the time, so I asked her a lot of questions. And the more questions I got, the more I'm like, whoa, this is so cool. I think biology is my favorite subject. But it just seems like when I bring science into any religious conversations, they'll tell me, you are thinking too logically. You shouldn't do that. And as a logical thinker, I'm always just gonna be like, what do you mean? Isn't that like breathing? Aren't we all logically thinking, right? Like, so when I see, I'm not saying this applies to all Muslims and Malays, but it seems like logical thinking is about to be haram soon because it invites questions into your mind that cannot be answered by Muslims. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. So to answer your daddy's question, yeah, I would say I only got it because science was a favorite subject of mine. I wasn't even good at it. Like my grades were like B, C.
I mean, there are a lot of science to Islam as well, in a sense. If you want me to give a bit of example, okay, very very simple. You hear this kind of hadith or whatever that says like do not sweep at night or do not all this sort of like superstitious kind of thing that you hear. Do not clip your toenails at night and do not study and that kind of stuff. So a good example would be that. But then again, we must also understand that this superstition or this hadith or story or whatever you want to call it came from a time where, for example, electricity was not readily available. So clipping your toenails would your toenails would fly around the house or fly into your food or that kind of stuff. And also sweeping at night, dust would be flying. So there is a lot of explanation and a bit of science here and there explaining in other questions, other contexts and stuff lah. But the question that stumps a lot of Islamists in a way is the very question that asks, where does God come from? If God created the world, like what the same question that you asked, where does God come from? Because that you can't really find a science to it.
Yeah, and I would even add on to that, in the defense of Islamists, because I don't want to be defending them, but in defense of them, even science can explain where we come from. The only difference is that one side, Islamists, they're saying that God created everything. Okay, but on the other side, science, we're always trying to find answers. And I think that's what I admire about science is this: if they don't know, they'll find out. But with Islamists, they'll just be like, yeah, God created it, and like because in the eyes of Islamists, it will always be God created everything, right? Even the thoughts in your head, apparently that also can come from God. But I truly don't believe that because
this is something new that I just heard. Like,
exactly.
I never heard
That's
about
why I'm always confused because it feels like as time goes on, things change. And I feel like for religion, we get most of our stuff from the Quran, right?
Yeah.
And the Quran's never changing.
Yeah.
So where are you suddenly getting this idea that my thoughts also come from God? That my thoughts are mine and mine alone. Yeah. But that's, I think most Muslims would disagree with me though, because what I'm saying is per person basis.
Right.
Most Muslims probably won't agree with me and say, oh no, my thoughts are mine. Yeah, because they even say our thoughts sometimes can be hasutan shaitan, like the shaitans are the one that's like rotting our brains. That's why we do bad things. Yeah, to me it just feels like you're trying to like shift the blame.
Like I understand you're trying to say that why would God actually want to put those thoughts in my head like, but for example, if I was a very religious person, I'd probably give you the answer like, this is to test your faith, Mr. Mikael. This is to test your faith. God puts these negative thoughts in your mind. God makes you do all these negative things. Is to test and see whether you would go against what you are supposed to do or you would go with the flow. They will give this kind of explanation, which I don't know. Even I'm confused. I don't know whether I should agree or disagree with that concept because I'm also in a state of confusion. As every Muslim is, every single day is a journey for us in trying to find the concept of the concept of religion and customs. Yes, that's the thing.
As much as we are having much fun down here, time is always jealous of us. And I would like to remind our viewers like that this, although we are Muslims, Q and I, but this is not an Islamic podcast.
Nope.
And we want to hear his views, Mika's views. And with that, we will see you on a brand new day tomorrow for part 2. See you guys.
Stay tuned.
would make it this far. They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah.